Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 82 of the Young Kings Wrestling Podcast featuring the Sovereign Soundboard. As always, you can find us on most platforms streaming podcasts, including Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and others. If you're listening on iTunes, leave us a review. Links to all the platforms are available at YKWrestling.com. And if you head to YKWrestling.com, you can get you some merch. Got those BLM shirts available in classic NWO and breast cancer awareness pink. So hit that link tree at YKWrestling.com. Hit the What a Maneuver link. Proceeds will be deposited into a fund benefiting causes of our people. Facts, man. I am the Thespian TC Fontaine, joined by Mr. Reek. Is Reek frozen?
I think so.
Come on, Reek. Come on, Reek. Well, Reek is here whenever that happens. Mr. Frozone, Reek Havoc, new nickname alert. We got Mr. 24/7 in the house, Malik Ricks.
Guess who's possessed?
And
What's going on?
our good friend, we got the smacked. Reek, are you good? Are you good, brother?
Yeah.
Okay, we good. Okay. We got. See, you trying to cop out of one of his choices already. We got our friend over from the Smacked Raw podcast family making her first appearance on the throne. Katie, baby.
Hey, wait. Time out. Let me do this because you done fucked up already. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the best host of the Smack Raw podcast, the hardest working host in Smack Raw podcast history, Miss Katie, baby. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the throne, Katie.
I'm so happy to be here. This is gonna be great.
It is, man. If you follow us on Twitter, you can join in our conversation on social media with the hashtag YK Wrestling. As well, you can join in with the hashtag YKW Mania Madness, because in the spirit of March Madness and the NCAA college basketball tournament, we had to bring back the YKW Madness tournament series. This time, we are going to find out what the greatest WrestleMania all time is. WrestleMania is in 3 weeks from yesterday as of our recording. So it's been a few months since our last tournament series. If you haven't heard it, go check out episode 50 in the archives, Promo Madness. Hear us get mad at Reek for some of his choices.
Mm-hmm.
But the rules are the same. We're going to each choose. We each chose 4 WrestleManias from the last 4 decades: the 80s, the 90s, 2000s, and the 2010s. Last year, we're just not going to talk about that one because it's kind of odd. But each WrestleManias we chose will go to head-to-head matchups for each region. The representatives from the other region will vote on the best WrestleMania in a head-to-head matchup, best 2 out of 3. And as most tournaments goes, we're going to keep playing until we have a winner. So representing the 80s is Katie Bars with the number 1 seed. She chose the inaugural WrestleMania event, number 2 seed WrestleMania 3, number 3 seed WrestleMania 5, and the number 4 seed WrestleMania 4. Representing the 90s, Mr. Reek Havoc with the number 1 seed WrestleMania 10, number 2 WrestleMania 12, number 3 seed WrestleMania 6, and he chose number 4 WrestleMania 14. I will be representing the 2000s. My number 1 seed is WrestleMania 19, number 2 WrestleMania X7, number 3 seed WrestleMania 21, and my 4th seed is WrestleMania X8. Representing the 2010s, Mr. 24/7 Malik with the number 1 seed WrestleMania 31, number 2 seed WrestleMania 30, number 3 seed WrestleMania 29, and his number 4 seed was WrestleMania 35. Before we get started, let's just go around and let's all state why we chose what we chose. Starting with Katie, and then we just go in order of the decades.
Well, I had to put the first one on there because first WrestleMania. 3 was Hulk and Andre. 5 was the Mega Powers exploding. And
That lust
honestly,
in your eyes, brother.
I couldn't tell you why I picked the other one. I only had 2 options left. I was like, this one, sure. I didn't have a lot of choices.
But she's had to choose which one she wanted to leave off.
Yeah, and like WrestleMania 2 is probably easy to leave off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Easy.
Freak.
All right. So, started with 10. That was pretty simple. I mean, Bret Hart and Owens kicking the show off.
The greatest ladder match of all time.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's a no-brainer. Skip right over 11 because that was trash. 12 because, pretty much half the card was Shawn and Bret in that Iron Man match, which was absolutely dope. Plus, they had the backlot brawl between Goldust and Roddy Piper, which was just highly entertaining if you're a fan. Then
I say something real quick about that backlot brawl. This shows you how Vince McMahon hops on trends late. He's been doing that since then. Because it was a reference to O.J. Simpson made in this match almost 2 years after the O.J. thing happened.
Yeah, the wild Bronco chase. Oh man, that's it. So then I had 6 because I mean, Ultimate Challenge, Warrior, Hogan. Even though we don't give a shit about Hogan, and
don't give a shit about Warrior either.
Yeah, but then what was my last one? 14. Yeah, that one is kind of just like I was out of options at that point, and I was
between the crowning of Stone Cold though.
Yeah, it was between that and 13, but when I looked at it, 13 was just really a one-match card. It was just Stone Cold, Bret. 14, you had at least Rock and Shamrock, Taker, Kane, Stone Cold in the end, and you had Mike Tyson. So I mean, and plus it's like technically the first Mania of the Attitude Era, so that counts for something too.
So representing 2000s, I chose WrestleMania 19. Honestly, I'll say that's the best WrestleMania of the Ruthless Aggression era. I think a lot of people can agree to that. They just kind of look at the card and they'll be like, yeah. It was really only two flaws on this whole show full of gems, and that was Undertaker's match, which was like I don't give a shit about A-Train and Big Show in 2003. And then the obvious one we always talk about, Booker T, Triple H. Only 2 flaws on that whole show. But we got Roddy Piper made his surprise return to the WWE. Hogan and Vince was a fire match. I don't care. Got the greatest Vince McMahon gif that I've seen. Came out of that match. And Brock Lesnar almost died in the main event after Kurt Angle almost died too. And Kurt Angle shouldn't have been wrestling. So we could have had 2 guys just like the whole main event could have been terrible and they pulled it off and it was fantastic. X7 is arguably the greatest Mania ever. It's just not my greatest Mania ever. I don't think so. But I see why people say that. TLC 2 gets an automatic bid. It's off rip. Triple H and Taker was on that card. Even the gimmick battle royal was kind of fun. And the hardcore title changed hands the most times it changed hands in one night on that show. WrestleMania 21, we got the first ever Money in the Bank match. We got Eddie Guerrero's last WrestleMania before his death later that year. We got the crowning of John Cena and Batista, as well as the movie trailers that preceded during all the promo. It's probably the most creative promo for any wrestling event I've ever seen, and they haven't topped it. I don't think so since then. And then X8, sentimental reasons. The first Mania I watched live. We also, I would say, is the greatest worked match of all time. It's not the greatest wrestling match. It's the greatest worked match of all time. The Rock versus Terrence Eugene Bollea. We're not going to say his shoot name around here. But I would say that's the greatest worked match of all time. The way they had the crowd in the palm of their hand from bell ring to the end is just amazing. And also it was the first time that the streak was acknowledged as well. Undertaker counted 10 on his hands, and they were like, oh, he's undefeated at WrestleMania with 10 wins. And so they linked into that a lot more in the years going forward. But yeah,
Two questions. Two questions. One, did you actually look that man's name up?
Uh, yes and no. His name isn't Terrence. I was just doing that to be an asshole. His name is just Terry. But yeah.
Second, you subbed some good manias for 18.
Yeah.
I'm curious about that.
Yeah. So like I said, sentimental reasons it got in. I hated to leave out WrestleMania 23 because that was probably my third or fourth favorite Mania of that whole decade. WrestleMania 20, it has a black mark on it throughout history, but it was still one. I used to draw that logo every day in class, and my teacher would get mad. I used to that logo was so fire. So I love WrestleMania 20. It was at Madison Square Garden. It was so much hype around it where it all begins again. This is the third straight decade they kicked off Mania at Madison Square Garden, which I thought it was a tradition they would have stuck to, but they haven't. But it is what it is. I don't know any other Manias I would have put up there. Maybe 24 because that was cool too. You had Floyd, you had Edge and Taker, you had Snoop Dogg, high as hell, falling asleep ringside. Explain your choices, Malik.
My choices. All right, first, I didn't know when I put them in a bracket. I was just throwing them up there. But anyway, 31 obviously to me is the best WrestleMania of that decade, I think, just because of the entertainment of the show. 30 is memorable. I chose these picks based off of moments and matches. And so, Taker losing and, Daniel Bryan doing what he did is crazy. 29, honestly, I just chose 29 because the other ones, it was like, I'm going based off of full Manias, moments to moment. And 35, Kofi, first time women ever main event in a WrestleMania. We got that Miz and Shane match. So,
Crown Becky Lynch, man. And Reek was there. I think if Reek chose it, he would have put it number one.
I had probably. I had a good view of that suplex he did off of that scaffold and everything like that. That was crazy shit.
Did you have a good view of AJ and Randy though?
Oh, I was good. It was crazy. I was like off to the side, like right in the center, and the people that couldn't see was like right to my right in the corner because the lights would be pointing in the four corners of the stadium. So it's like you could see everybody getting like pissed off and start doing the wave and stuff like that to try to get their attention. It was hilarious. Because it's like if you weren't there live, you couldn't hear how loud it was. But like they was like loudly chanting about turning the lights off and shit like that. Like we couldn't focus watching the match. We was looking at them the whole time.
Yeah. Rico, you the only one on here that's been to WrestleMania before?
I have.
Which WrestleMania have you been to, Katie?
23.
Nice.
Yeah, the one you snubbed. That's crazy.
Yeah, disrespectful. It's fine. Whatever.
Oh,
WrestleMania 23 was fire.
It was.
23
You even had a certain Hall of Famer, future politician on that show, getting Stone Cold Stunner.
Yeah.
That was good.
So let's without further ado, let's get into this. Let's determine who our champion is gonna be. Let's kick it off with the 80s region. Since it's Katie's region, she cannot vote. So leave it to us three to get down and figure this out. So we're gonna kick it off. WrestleMania 1 versus WrestleMania 4. Ironically, the first seed and the fourth seed. So who gonna go first?
I'll take this one. I'm definitely gonna go first Mania, just because 4 I never really cared for it like that. It's just a long tournament for the whole card, and I don't think that's what Mania should be. Even though Macho Man won the title, which was good, I didn't really care for anything else on the card. So it's like to just go with the first one.
Yeah, I agree, man. We're not having this podcast today without the first WrestleMania, so just offer it.
Yes, sir.
That was
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 1 moves on.
So
All right. Going over to the 90s region, kicking it off first seed versus 4 seed. WrestleMania 10 versus WrestleMania 14. Reek, you cannot vote. I am going to do the honors with this one and just say Reek's justification of it is my justification. We got Bret and Owen. We got Bret Hart winning the WWF Championship in the main event. We also had the greatest ladder match of all time, Shawn Michaels and Razor, which WWE tells you it's the first ladder match of all time. Bret Hart will be quick to tell you that he invented the ladder match. And very, very, very quick to tell you about that. But WrestleMania 10 for me.
yeah, same here. I'll go with WrestleMania 10, even though WrestleMania 14 is like the first WrestleMania I remember of my like life,
Yeah,
childhood. Like I think I had that on VA, like VHS.
yeah, me
But
too.
WrestleMania 10, man, like you said, it's a classic. It started, like you said, one of my favorite matches is the ladder match. So yeah, WrestleMania 10 for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be 10. Off the ladder match alone, it's 10. Like, there's no question about it. It's like how
Yeah.
1 was going to win that regardless, 10 was going to win this regardless.
Agreed, man. Agreed. So clean sweeps across the board. First 2 rounds might be pretty easy today. I don't know. So we're gonna get into the gritty. Not 90s region, 2000s region. We got number 1 seed WrestleMania 19 versus number 4 seed WrestleMania X8. What you guys got?
19. I don't think it really requires much thought. 18 is Rock Hogan. No one cared about the main event, which was sad because Triple H had a great story going into it.
No, he didn't. In hindsight, no, he didn't. I've been watching it. No, it was terrible.
No, I'm saying like him coming back from injury.
Yeah, that part, yeah. But all the extra stuff with Stephanie, nah.
Yeah, no, like that, no, get all that. I'm talking about like just him coming off the injury, winning the Rumble, everything like that, his momentum. But outside of that, no one cared about this. So it was just Rock and Hogan. 19 was a great card from start to finish. That's easy.
Facts.
I think we have another clean sweep. Like, it's got to be 19.
Yeah, I mean this is the card. This is the last time we've seen Rock versus Stone Cold. I mean Brock and Kurt.
That was Austin's last match.
Shawn and Jericho. Yeah, like he had some hits, man.
Matt Hardy, Rey Mysterio.
Classic.
It was a
Yes.
nice little sprint.
Yeah.
Classic.
Like I said, only flaws on this card were Undertaker versus Big Show and A-Train. And Taker's
Look at.
I don't know. You remember this one that Nathan Jones was supposed to be Taker's partner, but then Vince was like, "No, this guy's trash. I'm not putting him on WrestleMania." And then they ran an injury angle at the beginning of the show. Well, it was on Sunday Night Heat, and then they had him come out anyway at the end of it. It was whack. And then of course, the world title, Triple H taking a whole minute to pin Booker T and still getting the win. Some bullshit. Clean sweep.
Yeah.
Alrighty, in the 2010s region, Malik chose for his number 1 seed WrestleMania 31 and number 4 WrestleMania 35. Who going first?
All right. Can I just say something real quick?
What's up?
Once again, I forgot I had to rank these in brackets, but yeah, take your time on this one. Take your time. I know, like look, 31. Like I said, I believe personally that's the best WrestleMania of that decade. But 35, man, that's a hit, man. I feel like whoever wins this one, we might know who the second round is. But
let me go first. I'm gonna break down. I'm gonna break down. I'm gonna compare and contrast. WrestleMania 31, we got probably the greatest RKO ever on Seth.
Yes.
I think a lot of people can agree with that. I think the only one that may rival it is Evan Bourne.
Yeah.
We got Sting's first and only WrestleMania, which I thought was fun. Like the whole DX and WO stuff, like it was unnecessary, but it was kind of fun just for WrestleMania. Like if they did this at any other show, I would be like, what the hell? But for WrestleMania, it was cool. It did. It did its job. We got Ronda Rousey planting the seeds for her run that she would have in the WWE.
Which falls into WrestleMania 35.
True. And then we got Seth being cashing in. Seth did some things nobody's ever done with that briefcase, and it was kind of getting stale. So Seth Rollins, he kind of knocked two birds out the park with one stone. Cashed in at WrestleMania for the first time. Was also the first person to cash in during an active match, and that was fun. So that's WrestleMania 31.
And it has my favorite pre-show of any WrestleMania.
What was that?
Tyson Kidd,
Big Show winning the Dre.
No.
Not that, but that tag match was crazy.
It was.
Was.
Even though it was decent, that tag match was crazy. Then Mania started off with a ladder match with Daniel Bryan.
Oh yes, the Intercontinental title ladder match.
Dolph.
It's dope.
Luke Harper, rest in peace.
R.I.P.
R-Truth and Stardust. So
and you had John Cena winning the U.S. title.
Rusev on the tank. I forgot that.
Yeah. That wonderful tank that he did some things in. Allegedly.
But it's hard to vote against 35 though.
But 35, we got Kofi.
History, man.
Seth, we got Becky. So this is tough. But I think just for I'm going with 35, man. I saw a black man win the WWE title at WrestleMania for the first time ever at WrestleMania 35. So I gotta go with it.
Come on, Reek. What you got, Reek?
Come back to me. I'm still.
No, Reek. I'm curious. What are you thinking?
This is hard.
Yeah. See, this is what I do in these brackets. When I get to choose stuff, bro, I got to make you think, man, because we be overlooking so much stuff because we don't go back, and then you got to check and see what happened during these things. Even though I didn't get too much time to study, because like I said, when they say Mr. 24/7, they not lying. It's for real. I'm doing stuff all day. But it was like I went and checked the matches and got to look back at everything. Man, come on. It's up there. You could go with the tie and just let Kate, our guest, let her break it, Reek.
Oh man, that's true. I could. I don't know, man. This is tough. This is real tough. Like, cause
that's my goal, man.
I mean, it's being there, Kofi winning, Seth winning. They swerved us because we didn't even know that they was gonna start the night off with Seth. And Brock. The women's match at the end. I mean,
only bad thing about 30. Only bad thing about 35 is it was too long. That's the only flaw to me. One of the only flaws. Yeah.
Also, you had Terrence Eugene at the top of the show with Alexa Bliss too. That was a flaw.
I have one confession.
You sung Real American?
No, I held no. I will say this. It was one of those moments where it's like the initial reaction of just seeing it, my first instinct was to pop. So that it's like for 0.5 seconds I popped because it was just like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
It sunk in and I saw the Titantron. I'm like, right, no. But
I think we all would do that in person, just like at a restaurant.
Yeah, because it was just one of those things. It was like, it's WrestleMania, Hulk Hogan, whatever. But then they don't fuck with you, so no.
Yeah. But wasn't that Kurt's last match too on 35?
It was.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Yeah, this is stressful. This is stressful because I'm just looking at this next to 31, and it's like you had that ladder match. You had Seth and Randy. Seth came out later in the main event, which we thought was going to be trash. It was actually really good. Even
Brock also coined Suplex City, bitch.
Yes.
Malik loves some mid-match promos.
You did that. Those the best promos. I'm telling you, those the best promos, man. Brock best promos has been in the ring.
Come on,
Suplex City, bitch.
You know what? I'm just gonna make this. I'm gonna push Katie to a tiebreaker. I'm going 31.
Okay. There we go.
That's kind of why I wanted you to go second. I hope you were gonna do that. Listen, I'm going 35. As For the main event alone, for the women main eventing,
Yep.
as a woman who literally grew up watching the bra and panties matches and the stupid shit that went down, but then getting to see Lita and Trish, I got to see a little bit of China. Like, I caught like the very tail end of that. So seeing the women grow and then getting the main event, worth it. The show, long as hell. I was exhausted, but that made it worth it, just for the main event alone.
And the build up to that main event was crazy. I loved it.
Becky became a star because of that.
Yeah.
So I'm on the fence about
a tweet from Becky was like that started the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm on the fence when it comes to the build-up because they clearly did not want Becky Lynch in that position for a very long time leading up to it. Until they had no choice but to. And they tried their hardest to sabotage that main event. Like they're trying their hardest to sabotage the women's main event this year, but I'm not going to get into that right now. If you listen, all right, so we're recording this out of order, confession. This episode will come out after our Fastlane post show, which has not been recorded yet. Fastlane has not happened yet. However, there may or may not have been a rant on the last episode, depending on what went down with Sasha and Bianca. So I will wait to see about that. But
what you were saying?
But
what you were saying about Becky?
Oh. But the build to this, I was on the fence of it. Like, I really enjoyed that segment where they were brawling with the police and they were just kicking out the car windows. That shit was probably the greatest women's segment I've ever seen.
Yeah.
They knocked that out the park. And Becky Lynch deserved it. And boob jobs.
And that led me to partial of the reason of one of my other picks, which we'll get to. And then another reason for Kofi. Like, I don't think they planned for Kofi to be in that position. A mid-match promo
11 years
got him to WrestleMania winning the WWE Championship.
Ooh.
Shout out to Representation Mania.
Hell yeah.
Nah, that was supposed to be Ali's spot. Ali was supposed to go against Daniel Bryan.
Hey, Ali ain't. He wasn't there for 11 years though. Right. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no. But no, like that
show
was
supposed to win anything either. Honestly, let's be real.
Yeah.
No. But that show was definitely long as hell. Like I told these guys before. Like I got there at like I want to say 3, maybe 4 o'clock. I didn't get home until maybe 2 a.m. And I only live about 2 hours from MetLife. It's that.
I heard it wasn't no Ubers in Jersey, so all the Ubers had to come from New York City. And just people didn't get home for a long time. Enrique's frozen again. New nickname, Mr. Frozen. So while we wait for Enrique to come back, we just gonna move on. We might just move on to Enrique's side.
Might as well.
That way he don't gotta vote.
Wait. We got life.
This shit keeps doing this to me like all week. This is getting on my nerves.
Sabotaging, man. You got that RN internet package.
Oh man, that's what I was thinking too. I'm like, oh man, it's happening to me.
Hey, yo, internet said, hey, we've been talking about WrestleMania 35 too much. Let's move on. Let's hit the 80s region again. Number 2 seed WrestleMania 3. Number 3 seed WrestleMania 5. Who gonna go first?
All right, I'm gonna take this. I thought of this scenario was probably going to happen, but I'm just like, I got to go with probably 3 because, outside of Andre and Hogan, you had that Intercontinental title match between Steamboat and Savage, and that was like a standard match, like the standard for, top tier guys in that mid-card situation. So, going over like that alone, honestly, Savage and Hogan in 5 was great, but it was one of those things. It's like you didn't really get excited for much else but that, so gotta go with
Malik.
Y'all know I'm not the biggest fan of the 80s wrestling, but I do remember Hulk and Macho Man. You know what I mean? I remember that the feud they got, like Rick said, I don't remember. If that was the only thing I remember from WrestleMania 5. I'm looking at the matches now. I see they got Dino Bravo on here. I don't. He just sticks out because of
Dark side.
So, like Mr. Perfect. Okay, they had a few. They had a few. The Heart Foundation. I'm gonna just go with 5. I'm gonna let TC determine who will move on.
All right. I got good reasoning for this.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
So I wanted to go with 5 because there's one thing in particular about WrestleMania 3 that's never sat right with me. And that is Harley Race versus Junkyard Dog, very racially charged. Never liked it. But we did get 2 black men fighting on WrestleMania 3, Butch Reed, Coco Beware. Wasn't a good match, but and then Hogan body slamming Andre. It's the biggest WrestleMania crowd for 30 years at that point. It's huge. WrestleMania 5, it was all right, but WrestleMania 3 was just better. So I'm gonna just go with that. That one thing didn't stick out to me at all, but yeah. I don't like Junkyard Dog bowing and kissing another man's foot. There's no rock with that.
That happened at WrestleMania 3.
Loser must bow, and Junkyard Dog lost, and he had to bow.
Yo, quick side note. So yesterday I told you I was doing an MMA event, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I got the dopest picture ever, but unfortunately, it's like a white dude choking out a black man.
Oh no!
But it was like, it's the dopest picture. Like you can see him like he can't breathe at all. So, but I'm thinking back. I'm like, dang. But it's such a good picture. But this is MMA, so it's like.
Yeah.
So
it's
we talking
MMA.
about dope pictures. I had to just to mention this. This is probably my favorite picture I've ever taken. It's Sammy Guevara kicking Kick Sabian in the nuts. It's kind of bright. Let me turn my brightness down. Yeah.
Oh, that's fire.
Damn.
Probably my favorite picture I ever got. So I don't know how I got it. It was just random. I was just playing with it, and then all of a sudden he kicked him, and yeah, dope picture.
I was about to say, but like with Malik, that can't be the first time we've seen that though, because you remember,
it's not.
PFL in Vegas when
yeah,
my guy Dre got choked out by what's the dude's name?
I'm gonna say
Guy
Jordan.
went to the finals. No.
I forget.
Gilpin.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had that crazy choke that came out of nowhere.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's an MMA event, but then like I thought about it, I'm like, dang, the backstory is wild. That could get taken a while, but I'm still gonna post it because
I want to see this.
Yeah.
We can move on.
Let's move on, man. To the 90s region. We got WrestleMania 12 versus WrestleMania 6. Who going first?
I mean, I can.
Let's go, Katie.
12. I mean, Sean and Brett. That you can't beat that. For that, like the build for that, the outcome of that alone, you can't. Listen, I wasn't even a thought for 6. Like, I'm a 90s baby, so I wasn't even a fucking thought for that yet. But 12, that I have like memories when I was younger watching like reruns of that. So 12 for sure.
X. I went her 12. I missed 12 by 2 months, but yeah, I missed life by 2 months for 12. But like yeah, exactly.
4. I missed it by 4 months.
Okay, cool. But yeah, 12 hands down. Ain't no conversation. Ain't no need to speak about it. Yeah, 12.
So Reek, I want to know why you really chose 6, because I was checking 6 out, man, and it's probably the most controversial. The reason a lot of people don't like Roderick Toombs, Roddy Piper. This man was in half blackface, facing Bad News Brown.
All right,
And I
so
forgot about it as I'm
did
watching it. I'm like, I forgot about this.
Yeah, I forgot it was this Mania. But basically, the thing was, I'm going off of overall Manias. From 7 to 9, which one did we really give a shit about? Rhetorical question. No,
Wasn't 9.
Well, we know that. That you scratch that off right away. Then you go to 8, and if you would have just switched main events with for 8, I would choose 8. But they gave us Sid and Hogan in the main event, which ended in a non-finish, which was bullshit. Savage and Flair was a great match, but it wasn't the match we wanted. So
and for some reason, Savage and Flair was in the middle of the card.
Yeah, exactly.
Why?
Like that was bullshit. So if you would just switch the main event to what we were supposed to get, I would have chose 8. You know what I'm saying? And then 7 was just like, nah, I was not feeling that. Sergeant Slaughter is an Iraqi sympathizer who wins the belt. Fuck out of here.
Wasn't 7 like the smallest Mania crowd ever too?
But 7 led into some real life stuff though. They almost got their house messed up.
Oh yeah.
It was real.
It was pushing it a little bit too much.
Talking about breaking kayfabe, like it was gone.
But yeah, because of that, I'm not going with 6, man. I'm gonna go with 12 too. You know, the boyhood dream came true. Got a sudden death overtime in an Iron Man match. Looking at the card, man. You got the backlot brawl. We already talked about that. Warriors squash Triple H. Yeah. This is like after the curtain call with the click, so they had to make an example out of my guy. But he ended up becoming the GOAT anyway. So Stone Cold Savio Vega was a good match too. And I was watching Savio Vega on the bump last week, and he said he helped Austin come up with the stunner. So we can thank Savio Vega for the stunner.
Yep.
Savio's a for real hidden gem. He had his hand in a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's also they mentioned this on the bump too. He is the only person to defeat, or he's the first person to defeat Stone Cold, Triple H, and The Rock.
Wow.
Hey, what is that?
Shout out to WrestleMania 12. Move on. 2000s region. WrestleMania X7 versus WrestleMania 21.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start it. I'm going WrestleMania 21.
Money in the Bank. Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio.
That is my childhood. But Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, that was the beginning of something like that.
Shawn Michaels.
Oh man, yeah, that don't even need to be said. John Cena won his first WWE championship. Batista beating Triple H, Randy and Undertaker.
Yes.
I think that was my favorite. I think I said that on here. That was my favorite. One of my favorite WrestleMania matches from Undertaker and Randy Orton. Like, yeah, the Money in the Bank, the first ever Money in the Bank, with Edge, Chris Jericho, Christian, Kane, Shelton Benjamin, and one other guy. But yeah, Shelton running up the ladder, bro. 21.
And that one guy hit a headbutt off the ladder, and we kind of see why he did what he did.
That one guy, Smith, I didn't know his son would have been that old.
21 this year.
That's crazy. Like I'm only 24. I was only 3 years older than him.
Same.
That is wild. But yeah. Don't get me wrong. You know, wait, hold on.
I would say the only flaw in that card was Christy Hemme versus Trish. and that's only because Lita was hurt.
Wait. No, hold on. Time out. I got it. Oh man, wait. I chose that way too early.
And it wasn't the only flaw because Big Show Akimono.
Oh yeah.
Wait, they have my favorite ladder match of TLC of all time, bro. I chose that way too early.
Moment. It's binding. You stuck in it.
But overall show 21. But that match, Edge, Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys, Edge, Christian, what? Yeah.
Listen,
Go ahead.
I love 21. I really do, because that crowning of John Cena and Batista in the same night, the 1A and 1B, the ruthless aggression from that point forward. We didn't have to. The reign of doom from Triple H was like over officially. JBL did his job, even though he was never going to be there for long. I love that. I loved it all. But WrestleMania 17 didn't have a single bad match on the card. And one thing I noticed too, 21 didn't have any mid-card title matches. And 17 had a whole bunch, including, I think, was it Kurt and Benoit? No. They had a submission match. Kurt and Redacted.
Oh yeah, they did.
They did.
Yeah, but that match was dope. The hardcore title matches, like all over the arena that night, was wild.
Jericho and Regal was kind of mid though. By the standards that the type of match they could have had,
yeah,
it was mid. But
And
the rest of the card was cool.
Yeah,
21 was really like the passing of the torch. Like, here, this is y'all. I think one of the main problems we've had, a lot of people have had with WWE, 21 was that WrestleMania where it was like, okay, cool, the company's in y'all hands now. Now let's see what y'all gonna do with it. They did an amazing job with it too,
Right.
But yeah, it did with Kurt and Sean. Yeah,
like that, all of that. And then we already said TLC. That was just off. But then Triple H and Taker. A lot of people felt like that was like a street fight or a hardcore match. That was
a regular ass match. Bro.
They just went out and brawled all over the fucking the stands and shit. Like, that was good shit. And then of course the main event.
shit.
It was like I won't even definitively say it was the best Rock versus Stone Cold. I feel like 19 was a little bit better, but even still, that alone, the turn at the end, Stone Cold shaking hands with Vince McMahon after beating the shit out the Rock.
It was overbooked.
It was, and the heel turn was so not needed. But it's a shock moment. It's one of those things like you never thought you'd see before. So that value at a Mania, gotta give it over.
Stone Cold's the only heel that never got to be a heel.
And they just bought WCW like a week before this show.
Such a missed opportunity.
All right, we got a tiebreaker, Katie.
No, I don't want this one.
Another tiebreaker.
The other one I was fine with. Fuck.
It's Malik's fault for just being real antsy and jumping the gun.
I'm standing on it. I like 21 more than I like that one. Yeah.
Fuck. Oh my god, this is really hard. I'm like
Frozen,
looking back
Frozen,
over.
freaking Frozen.
Jesus Christ.
My guy Regal.
I mean, 21, like, it was like Ghost Hollywood, the promos, the matches, Money in the Bank. But 17, which I forgot a lot about, I just went and looked. China became women's champ, which was
they did Ivory dirty.
Listen, it's fine.
Where Reek go, man?
Oh, jeez.
We don't need Reek right now. It's cool.
But then the TLC.
Hey, I'll never get mad at somebody picking Jeff Hardy.
Same. First ever Hall of Famer.
Exactly.
Oh, this is hard. I think
There's no wrong answer here.
I know
We can
there's
say
no
that.
wrong
Yeah,
answer.
there's no
There's
wrong
no
answer.
wrong
though.
answer.
They're both good. I remember watching 17. Like my cousins had the DVDs from like all the WrestleManias,
Yes.
so I remember watching this all the time.
But 21 had a match that led to many guys winning WWE World Heavyweight Championships. That was the beginning of something crazy. We didn't know what that was. We
Shout out
thought
to
they
Chris
just had
Jericho.
you know what I mean? Yeah, shout out to Chris Jericho for that. Yeah.
Chris Jericho made so many guys' careers. Now I don't think that's mentioned enough. Now
It's
that
not.
I think about it, he made so many guys' careers off of just pitching that match concept.
Chris Jericho and Triple H to me are like the two. When you talk wrestling, those are the two names that to me are just the top.
Yeah.
Like talking about just ideas and matches and wrestling promos, reinventing themselves.
Psychology.
Like those two guys are the top hands down. But we're still waiting on the answer.
I'm gonna go 21.
Ooh.
That was painful. I
First,
don't like
first
that
upset,
at all.
first upset of the day.
Ooh, where is Reek?
Arguably,
That was painful. I
Yeah,
don't want to talk about it.
I feel it.
arguably the greatest Mania of all time, did not get out the first round.
Oh.
That is wild. That is wild.
I'm gonna get all this hate now. See, this is why I don't come on people's podcasts.
Oh man.
Damn it. That was probably the most difficult.
How did we
choice I've
get
ever
those
made.
two against each other? Like how did they get against each other?
Man,
I think they would have fit. I think they would have fit better against the other ones. Like I think, yeah.
Reek is coming back in. My God,
Uh-oh.
Reek.
Mm.
So, Katie made her decision. While you were gone, while you were resetting, I don't know, you resetting your modem or whatever you were doing. Katie made her decision, and we have our first upset of the day. WrestleMania 21 has trumped over WrestleMania 17. WrestleMania 21 is moving on to the next round.
Hey,
It was hard. Reek, it was hard. It was a hard choice. I panicked.
oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh, listen.
I had 17 going all the way to the finals.
Well,
That's
what?
Hey,
probably
Reek, you said, "Oh my God."
Oh my God.
Oh
Reek's
no.
never gonna let me back on now.
Oh.
Shit.
Oh man.
Good thing about that, Reek doesn't choose who comes on the show, so you good.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I sat here for like 5 minutes trying to decide. In all
She did.
fairness,
I'm still wondering
difficult.
how did we get those two against each other? I think that would have been
man.
like a second rounder. But yeah. Let's move on.
Yeah, 2010's Reek.
Oh my god.
2010s, we got WrestleMania 30 versus WrestleMania 29. Who want to go first?
Come on, man. It's 30. Not even a question. Start the night off with Daniel Bryan in a fire match. You end the night with Daniel Bryan in a fire match. Cesaro,
Streak.
lifting Big Show. Yes,
Streak,
you know
baby.
something? I was gonna wait for this. I watched that match back like 2 days ago.
For
That
somebody
really
who
should've
didn't
got-
remember the match, it was okay.
that it was okay, but they should have called it on because you could clearly. It's like from the angle that you saw when he got like dropped, it didn't even look like he hit his head, but like he said that's where they established that the concussion happened. But from that point on, it becomes real hard to really figure out if he's selling or if he's really out on his feet. And at that point, it's like that's where it sunk. And if you really needed a hint as to what the direction was and where they were going with this, just listen to the announcers. They were out of it the entire time from start to finish. They were never really like Mike Cole was trying his best to kind of keep this thing going, give some energy to it. But JBL, King, they were both just kind of like just had this monotone voice. It's like they already knew what was coming. So I mean, between that and the concussion, it's like Brock had to just start beating up on Taker to kind of wait for him to get his bearings together.
Michael
and every
Cole
time he did,
had his greatest call ever too.
Oh yeah.
I would say this is his best call he's ever had.
Yeah, but it's like he was trying to just gather himself together, and every time he did, Brock did another F5, and it would just send him back further. It was like it was harder to watch than I remember. But otherwise, I mean, and the shock of it, I mean, that's just something you can only do at a Mania. But outside of that, I mean, yeah, even though the wrong result went Bray Wyatt and Cena, that was still a good match. Cesaro lifting Big Show in the Dre, and what should have been like a catapult for him, but we ain't gonna get into that fucking that Battle Royal stuff. But yeah, that was overall it was a great card.
Was that the Battle Royal? They were supposed to have the Moolah? Was the Moolah Battle Royal?
No, that
was it 32?
34.
34? Okay. Oh, yeah, because they went back to Louisiana, right?
Yeah,
but they won't come to Las Vegas, but that's another thing.
All right. Hell.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about that.
I'll wait to the end to talk about that.
Yeah, we can talk about that in a little bit.
Vince.
What was your choice, Reed? 30?
Yeah, 30.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Katie, you want to go or should I go?
I mean, I can go. It's 30. Daniel Bryan, like WrestleMania, like and that alone, the build for that's one of the best stories in a long time. That and like Kofi Mania, like growing up and watching, those are like the two best stories I got to like watch all the way through and see their moment happen. It's great. So, I mean, the other matches were good. I mean, the Shield had a match, which they're all doing their own thing now. The Cena and Wyatt wasn't even that bad. That was kind of cool. And the streak, we already talked about that. Streak, yeah, that happened. But Daniel Bryan, WrestleMania 30.
Yeah.
All right, so it don't matter, but I'm gonna still, speak my piece, as Malik said. WrestleMania 29, I'm looking at the card now, and it got some heat that I kind of forgot about. Triple H and Brock was fired. Undertaker Punk, probably best match on that card. CM Punk's last Mania. We got a Fandango beating Chris Jericho, something nobody saw coming. But alas, we got a big phenomenon with Fandango for a few weeks out of that. We got the Shield's first Mania matches as well. So
that was part of the reason why I chose it.
But we got Mark Henry and Ryback was on this show.
Trash. Absolute trash.
And Alberto Del Rio and Jack Swagger had a match, which honestly, I'm gonna save my opinion on this, and I'm just gonna let Stephen A. Smith state my opinion for me.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you,
We don't care.
But WrestleMania 30 though. That was going to be my choice, and it doesn't matter. It's a clean sweep. WrestleMania 30, you already said it. Daniel Bryan, Triple H kicking off the main event. Kicking it off to find out who's going to go to the main event in the WWE title match. We could have had Evolution at WrestleMania in the triple threat. It would have been dope 10 years prior. But so I'm glad that's not the route they went. They were smart. Sometimes, it's just that easy.
No, they stay fans sometimes.
Yeah. We got the Shield taking on New Age Outlaws and Kane. I'm gonna let Stephen A. Smith tell you how I feel about that match.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
Didn't care enough, and obviously WWE didn't care either because that match was like 3 minutes long. The Rock had a promo at the beginning of the show. So it was The Rock and Stone Cold and this other guy had a promo at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say about that segment.
It was a pretty fun segment. You know, you got the three biggest stars in WWE history all together in the same ring.
And did he mess up the name of the arena?
The Silverdome, brother. And then everybody booed. I mean the Superdome, brother. Oh, that.
Oh man, and Stone Cold was dying after that too.
Austin should have stunned him.
Right.
And
off
then
that alone,
as he tried to get up, because he got a bad hip, would have took him like 10 minutes to get up, and then The Rock would have helped him up, and then Rock bottomed him back down. That's what should have happened. But yeah, WrestleMania 30.
There you go.
First round. Yeah, first round complete. It took us about an hour to do the first round. It's kind of funny. So let's move on. Second round in the 80s region, we got probably the only two WrestleManias in the 80s that matter going head to head. So this should be fun. WrestleMania 1 versus WrestleMania 3. What we got?
WrestleMania 1.
That was quick. That was real quick. No thought put into it at all.
I'm just throwing the WrestleMania out there. Go ahead.
Oh man, listen, I really only chose WrestleMania in the first round because it was easy. This one is just like, if we talk about the WrestleMania that was more impactful, it's easily WrestleMania 3. So
I didn't watch neither, so I'll just throw the answer out there.
Yeah,
they're hard to sit through. Like the first WrestleMania is basically a house show, low key.
Yeah.
It was a house show with a bunch of celebrities on
it.
Yeah. It's got sentimental value because it's the first. But WrestleMania 3 was the first one that really hit that this was going to be something major for them every single year. So gotta go 3.
All right.
Are you struggling, bro?
I am. Because, even though I just said the first WrestleMania was pretty much a house show with celebrities on it, it's still the first WrestleMania, bro. And
that's the only weight it really holds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 3, you had one of the biggest moments ever that they told us was important. And still to this day, they still try to tell us that. I'm gonna be real with you, man. You gotta. Oh, my mic messed up. Hold on. Technical difficulties here. But, all right, we good. Vince McMahon had old boy on SmackDown like a couple months ago, plugging that match with Andre on Saturday Night's Main Event, and everybody's like, "What you doing on here, bro? We don't care." And but yeah. Like a lot of people, they don't know who the hell Andre the Giant is. I was barely a year old when Andre the Giant passed away. Andre the Giant was kind of trash, but I understand the legend, the spectacle behind him. This big 7'5", 500-pound man. You know what I'm saying,
bro? Growing up,
disrespectful. That's so
disrespectful.
Was Andre not trash?
But the man was 7 foot, 4 and 300 plus, or 500 pounds. Like, what did you think he was gonna be? For the size of what he was, I would not call it.
In hindsight, was he not trash?
Like
back then,
the man was perpetually in pain on a regular basis. Like the dude could not walk around normally, function like the rest of us could.
I understand that.
For his size and like what he was able to do, like, listen, I can't call, like, I'm not gonna say he was great, you know what I'm saying, but I'm not gonna call that man trash. That's
he's a legend, but and I'm not expecting him to have a high work rate. Great Khali was trash. I love Great Khali, Andre the Giant was trash, but like watching old stuff, I understand the spectacle, and I really like Andre. When you watch, I love Andre and the Princess Bride. He was even a great actor. I think if health wasn't an issue, man, if health wasn't an issue, Andre the Giant would have been great in movies. He had great comedic timing. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
he was trash. Anyway, this is still difficult for me, and I got to break a tie. You know what I'm saying? Two of the greatest manias of the '80s. Yeah, I was go with WrestleMania 3, man, in the Superdome, brother.
We spent way too much time on that. Let's go
That's
on.
true.
That's what I'm saying. Oh man.
To the '90s, we got WrestleMania 10 versus WrestleMania 12, and I know my choice, and I can't wait to tell y'all my reasoning. But somebody else got to go first. Malik.
Let me see. We'll go WrestleMania 10. Go. That's a difficult one, but yeah, I'm gonna go with 10.
Okay. Katie.
Rest peace on. Got this back.
RPO.
You need that sound bite on here too.
Which one?
From Sada Baby.
I was trying to find. I need to do it. I need to get that.
Got this black and pink on. Rest in peace. Bro, that is the coldest. Oh my goodness, that is the coldest wrestling song of all time. And it wasn't even supposed to be a wrestling song, but who thought of to ever flip
her business better?
Bret Hart.
Her business is a better song.
I don't know, man.
MVP was.
I get it.
So I gotta give it to you.
Nah, I'm not giving it because MVP.
Quick sidebar. Since we're talking about like dope wrestling songs, I remember this from Theme Song Madness. We left out Devon's theme when he was Deacon, or what was it?
Who's we?
No, I think TC had it in there. TC had it there.
Y'all kicked it out in the first round.
We threw that out the way.
That's what it was. Yeah, I'm kind of regretting that now because like I was watching, been watching 2002, and it really slapped. So I'm kind of upset we did. Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah, I'm kind of upset.
Y'all booted it in the first round.
I just want to say, big ups to Silk the Shocker too. By the way, he will be at our celebrity game this Sunday. Next Sunday. So,
hey, shout out to Theme Song Madness, episode 29. Check the archives.
Yes,
sir.
So we got to redo that too, because there was a lot of omissions.
Yeah, WrestleMania.
No more words. Still,
I kind of forgot which WrestleManias y'all went with.
No more words.
Malik had 12. No, Malik, you had 12 or 10?
I had 10.
Katie, did you choose yet?
No, I didn't choose yet.
Okay.
No more words does not beat Edge's theme song. I'm sorry, bro.
No, I'm talking about Batista. No more words still beats Batista.
Yeah, he seems so hot about that.
Y'all didn't choose Batista's music either. That was some bullshit.
That's what he's talking about.
Because it was next to No More Words.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you about that, bro. Like if it were anybody else, choosing Batista.
It's set in stone forever. It's set in stone forever. We laughing at you, nigga.
They laughing at you, nigga.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Katie. We're sorry.
Oh no, you're fine.
Oh goodness.
I think I'm gonna go with 10. Yeah, I'm gonna go with 10. I've looked at both cards the whole time you guys were talking, trying to figure this out. Yeah, I'm gonna go with 10.
So this was tough for me, man. Like I said, man, 10 got the greatest ladder match of all time. Mm-hmm. My choice don't matter at this point, but I was gonna choose 12 because compared to 10 and 12, which one did Shawn Michaels win his match at? It was 12. So
Oh yeah.
True.
Well, we know. Shawn Michaels stand, even though he blocked you.
hey, it is what it is.
That's
Man.
wild.
I'll get unblocked one day, man.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
Sean Spears unblocked me, so Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, TTC is notorious for getting blocked by these wrestlers.
Sean Spears vanity searched his name, and I was talking about him, and I would tell you why when we get no recording. I don't want this on record.
But we met him. He's such a cool guy.
I know. I'm gonna tell you.
So next time he see you, it's on site. Like next time we're at Starcast, he gonna be like,
he unblocked.
Yo, what's happening?
It's all good.
What's popping?
I like Sean Spears, but he searched his name, and I said something about something on Twitter. And
this man is notorious for getting blocked by these wrestlers for no apparent reason.
For no reason, like Naomi blocked me for no reason. I know that was Jimmy.
Well, Sean, we understand why. Like, you can't make fun of that man's eye like that. I'm sorry.
Stephanie made fun of his eye on national television in front of 2.5 million
is
people.
His best friend's wife.
That's right. That's Stephanie. Right?
She's not TC. That's his best friend's wife.
That man don't even know
you. Who knows? He might have had some words with her backstage. Like, yo, you better watch your mouth.
Like, yo, respect your elders, little girl.
You remember what I did to your pops at 22? Remember what I did to him there at WrestleMania 22?
There you go.
You're next. All right, we can move on.
WrestleMania 10 moves on. It's unfortunate. But WrestleMania 10 makes Final Four. Oh man. 90s is done. 90s is done. So we're moving on to the 2000s. WrestleMania 19 versus WrestleMania 21. And I can't vote. So somebody, whenever y'all are ready, do the honors for me.
See, this never goes the way I expected. Right now, in my head, my first thought was just go straight 21. That was my first thought. But looking at 19, that's tough. Like I said, last Rock, Austin, Brock, Kurt, Shawn Michaels, Jericho. But it's just 21 like catapulted. Like 21 had a bigger purpose than just WrestleMania. That's my thing. So you know what? I'm not going first. I'll let somebody else choose. I gotta hear everybody's opinions first before I make my decision.
Oh, man.
TC, if you had to choose, who would you choose? Since you can't vote.
Well, I agree with you on WrestleMania 21. Like, it catapulted. It served a different purpose, but WWE was trying to serve that purpose at WrestleMania 19. But Brock Lesnar didn't stay full time.
Yeah.
So like the purpose of both manias was to crown that new face of the company.
Yeah, but
if I had to choose,
one really didn't.
But I did choose. I picked both of them. So I don't want to influence anybody's decision.
Go ahead, Reek. Reek, you got this. Ric Flair.
Y'all killing me. Y'all killing me. So I knew where I was gonna lean initially, but thing is, I have this gripe with 19 that we already mentioned, and the fact that you had this.
What was the gripe?
You had the match with Booker and Triple H that was highly racially charged throughout the entire.
That's racist.
Oh yeah, heavily. And then not only did he lose, but he was pedigreed, and from the time that he hit the mat, I think about 5 years elapsed before Triple H even made the cover and won the match. And that in itself is a travesty. And also, 19 is a significantly longer card. WrestleMania did a little bit more with less. And if I'm looking at like the big matches that didn't have like titles on the line, I'm looking like Shawn and Jericho or Hogan and Vince. And compare it to Kurt and Shawn, which it's not even a conversation. That was one of the best matches ever. I almost still went with 19 because I remember Team Angle, Benoit, and Rhino, Chavo and Eddie. That was actually a really good match. But
who was Rhino's partner?
Redacted.
Oh,
It was David. David was his partner.
Yeah. Go with that.
what? His son?
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna go with 21.
Not mad at it.
Yeah.
You ready to make your choice, Malik, or should we have Katie choose?
I'm going with 21. WrestleMania 21.
Okay. WrestleMania 21, moving on. What were you going to pick, Katie?
I was gonna pick 21. Yeah.
Oh, clean sweep.
Gang. Yo, that's the best thing about these brackets. Like everything that we think is going to just go and be great, it never turns out that way. So
It's like March Madness in real life.
yeah.
True.
Like I would have thought 19.
Who Ohio State lose to?
What's them called it? I can't remember the name. Oral something.
Oral Roberts. It was Oral Roberts.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you where Oral Roberts is.
Me either. I've never heard of that school a day in my life.
I've heard of
I
it.
didn't know it exists.
I just don't know where it's at.
I thought that was a joke when I read it. Like I thought people was trolling. Like, what the fuck is Oral Roberts? That don't even sound like a school.
True.
Let me take a quick break because I just remembered something. I remember Illinois was losing, and Illinois lost to Loyola. Number 1 seed lost to the 8th seed. That sucks. March Madness, everybody. Real life ain't on a YK Wrestling podcast. Facts. WrestleMania 21, moving on. And now we mentioned Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels, that match had Kurt Angle's best promo ever leading up to it too. I think it's the best promo. Sexy Kurt is the best promo.
I'm just
of all
a
time.
sexy Kurt.
Shout out to
I'll
Sherry.
make your ankle hurt.
R.I.P. Sherry.
Yes.
Clean sweep. All right, 2010s. Let's move on. We can try to wrap this up a little bit, man, because I know Malik got somewhere to be momentarily. WrestleMania 35 versus WrestleMania 30. Who wants to do the honors of going first? I don't think Reek does.
No.
I'll do it. Yeah, man, this is tough because this is probably my 2 favorite manias of the last decade. WrestleMania 30, I have watched several times. It's a very easily digestible card. Might have been the last digestible card for WrestleMania before they started, loading it up, having shows be the same length of a work shift. So
yeah.
But WrestleMania 35, I think for the same reason I chose it in the first round, I gotta go with it this round. Kofi Mania alone. Something I never thought I would see, not just with Kofi, but just with anybody, because I hadn't seen it in 20 years. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody who looked like me winning a championship. And this time he actually looked like me. So Kofi Mania. Already. WrestleMania 35. I gotta go with it. Representation Mania.
Yeah, that's very true.
So it's 35 moving on.
That's your pick, or are you still conflicted?
I don't know.
I was
that's what I'm
agreeing with
thinking.
you. I was agreeing with you.
Oh,
He didn't want to say it. Reek, was that too much to say? Goodness. Reek can make all the women in the world, but can't choose a WrestleMania. You're wild, Reek. That's disgusting. That's filth.
Yo, that's a damn shame.
Facebook Reek is the worst.
I think he's frozen again too.
Is he? Oh man, see, he trying to cop out of making his choice. See, I really just thought the whole time he was just like, damn, I'm conflicted.
Wait, is he
But
back?
now we got what
got
is
two
going
Reeks?
on? We got 2 Reeks.
2 Reeks.
I need one of these Reeks to go. You messing up the layout of the video. What do these Reeks got to get out of here?
Good Reek.
You frozen again?
He froze again.
Oh, he on the phone. All right, so
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not doing this with this computer all day. So yeah.
it's all good.
Oh. All right. So yeah, I'm stuck, man.
So he was frozen the whole time. He wasn't. He really couldn't choose.
Yeah, that's a perfect way. That's a perfect way to describe it for me. That's where like I needed a moment.
Don't you love technology?
Oh yeah, I gotta love it.
This is like the 5th episode in a row that somebody has had a technical difficulty, including myself. I even had one. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, You was gone that time. So
I don't know if you heard, but he chose 35.
yeah.
Okay.
He agreed with me.
So my mind says 30, but obviously my heart is in 35.
I was gonna say bet your body.
No. Oh no, we're not doing that. Y'all are wild. Y'all are wild.
Oh my god, I hate that's the first thing that always comes to my mind when people say that.
I'm giving you 10 seconds, Reek.
We can't have CB and Arcade on the same episode. Like, that's ridiculous.
No, we can't.
That's ridiculous. Come on, Reek, man. They get to see you, man. Man up. Shit.
35.
What's your choice, Reek? 35?
Yeah.
Okay. And just for formalities, Katie, what's your choice?
35.
Ooh, representation mania.
Representation mania.
Sorry.
Final 4. So our final 4, we got WrestleMania 3 taking on WrestleMania 21 and WrestleMania 10 taking on WrestleMania 35. So we're going to go and start it off with WrestleMania 3 versus WrestleMania 21.
Yeah, so next round.
Are we in agreement here?
Next round. 21. 21.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go. Let's move on. I'm not about to sit here wasting our time. Let's go. 21.
WrestleMania 10 versus WrestleMania
We're not about to fake and be like, oh, this is so difficult. Oh my god. Okay. Well, we don't know. At WrestleMania 3, it was no 21. Let's go.
WrestleMania 10 versus WrestleMania 35. And since we're out of the regions, it would be a little difficult for us to not vote on our region since it would be 2 people not voting on their region. So we're just gonna have, we're just gonna try to, come to a civil agreement. I'll close this out because I didn't think that far ahead. I don't know. I don't remember how we did for the last one. Honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. So
Me
neither.
WrestleMania 10 versus WrestleMania 35. What we got?
I mean, I'm going 35.
It's representation mania, and Shawn Michaels lost at WrestleMania 10, so I can't roll with it.
Oh, damn.
35.
Okay. I wasn't gonna be mad either way. I'm just like, I want to make it easy so we're not disputing shit.
All right. That was
Maybe it's a generational thing. Like I feel like some old dudes gonna be here. Are you good? Serious? How can you choose that over? Like, okay, bro. First off, I wasn't even born. You know what I mean? 35. Like, okay, great.
I was born. I just was like 3. I wasn't 3. I was 1. I can't do math, but I was 1.
Let's move on.
WrestleMania 21 versus WrestleMania 35. We are going to find out who or what rather is the greatest WrestleMania of all time. And I didn't think either of these would get this far. It is incredible. This is wild to me that we got a number 3 seed and a number 4 seed in the championship.
Yeah.
Arguably the greatest WrestleMania of all time got knocked out in the first round. The greatest WrestleMania of the Ruthless Aggression era lost to that WrestleMania as well. The inaugural one, we just showed no love to that after the first round. Malik thinks WrestleMania 31 is the greatest Mania of the 2010s. I would say 30 is, even though I didn't choose 30. But we got a lot of choices here. This bracket is sure to make a lot of people upset, and it should be fun.
Hey! Can you play Stephen A. for me one time?
Yes, I can. I got a few different Stephen A. ones, but I think I know which one you're talking about. If you are upset at our choices,
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
All right. So just know that before you get to
a lot of people gonna be in at YK Wrestling's mentions on Twitter talking about some.
That is blasphemous.
But
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
That's the soundbite of the day. If you haven't realized it yet,
I did not see either of them two making it this far.
I didn't either. I honestly thought it was going to be very simple, like how Promo Madness was. I think we all just knew from the jump Austin 316 was going to win it.
Yeah.
This one, I really thought WrestleMania 17 was going to get to the finals.
That's what I said. If not 17, 19 at least. I'm just like, damn. The combination of, my own personal connection with 35 and, we knew Katie was going to pick it in every bracket. So I'm like,
yeah. But you have to. I think people just overlook stuff and they just be like, 17. This. Like you have to like really take your time and look at the matches. What happened in that match? You know what I mean? What was the main event? Because I hate main events like that. Like other matches overshadow the main event. You know what I mean? Like I for some reason I hate that, especially at WrestleMania. Like,
what match you think overshadowed the main event at WrestleMania 17? TLC?
Yeah. Of course, I think that. I'm biased, of course.
That's fair.
I think that. But that made it, I wouldn't really even say it overshadowed it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think really none of our picks main events overshadowed. I'm talking about the other ones that did probably make it on the bracket.
All right, WrestleMania 25, main event was overshadowed.
Yeah.
What was it? 18?
WrestleMania 18.
18
overshadowed the main event.
Yeah.
So,
I think 30.
WrestleMania 16 or 2000 rather. WrestleMania 2000.
Was the WrestleMania 32? Was that Roman and Triple H?
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't want that main event.
Yeah.
Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha.
Yeah. But we, like I said, the main events was played a part with mine too. But
true.
Yeah, just go back and look at
it. As it should. The main event should have a little bit more importance. So yeah.
Yeah.
Because 32, we got Shane jumping off the cage again. Was killing himself.
Unnecessary.
The ladder match, the Zack Ryder one too.
That ladder match was dope.
Yeah. I wouldn't even I wouldn't even say 17 was like overshadowed. They just stole the show in TLC.
Yeah,
That's really all it was.
Which like put them on a different level to now we have one of those guys from that WrestleMania by the main event, the next WrestleMania. And the reason why, what was it, WrestleMania 34? 32? Which one the New Day hosted?
30, 34,
33.
33. Yeah.
33. Why 33 was so amazing? Because we got the return of one of those tag teams that, won the tag team championships. Like, yeah,
They first ever WrestleMania win.
That's
which was wild. Duh.
That's another one that was overshadowed too, because that main event was just terrible.
So, but it got Roman's best promo though. I'll give him that.
Well, before the Tribal Chief.
Yeah, before Tribal Chief, but pre-Tribal Chief era, that was his best promo came out of that match.
Yeah.
So all in all, people, just go look at everything before you judge, and then think about the future, what happened after. So, yeah. Well, let's move on, man. Let's get to the finals.
Which is why I did not choose when WrestleMania 29 and 30 went head to head. I was looking at and I was like, a lot of stuff happened on this show that didn't matter in the long run. Fandango, just being one of the examples. So Ryback and Mark Henry, that happened on that show. So yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, what Malik just said is about to influence my decision. And y'all ain't gonna like it.
Let's do it, man. Let's go.
What's your choice?
YK Wrestling.
How do you feel, Reek? State your piece, and we can come to an agreement in the next 5 minutes, hopefully.
It that just swung me because I was definitely about to lean on 35 to take it all. But he just said you got to think about the moments, what happened, and how where the product went afterwards. After WrestleMania 21, WWE had probably one of its best years going forward. After 35, a lot of what was exciting going into it, they kind of dropped the ball. Seth didn't have a great title reign as Universal Champ. Kofi had a decent enough reign for that first one, but we know how it ended. Becky held on to those belts for a good little while. She lost the SmackDown one to Charlotte, right? Yeah. Charlotte right away. But then had a great title run as Raw Women's Champ. That was like the one thing that came out of it that was good. Outside of that, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like, Roman came back. That whole thing with him and Drew went on for a little bit longer, but it didn't really go anywhere before, going into the next year, and COVID happened and everything like that. I think the only thing, it took so long for Drew to kind of get into that point where it's like, okay, now we're going to push him to the moon. But I mean,
leftover lasagna.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. But I'm just looking at the two of them based off of where we went after that Mania. It's like there was definitely a way higher ceiling that they went to after 21 than they did after 35. So that, based off of that, I gotta go with you.
And
you know what? I'm gonna go with it too. I'm gonna go with 21 as well. That's what I would choose if I had to say. WrestleMania 21 was that pinnacle one. Like I said, the promos were amazing. We had the Money in the Bank match, which if without that match, I don't think The Miz would have had as lengthy of a career as he's had. I think Miz is probably the biggest beneficiary of that because Edge would have won the title eventually. But because of Money in the Bank, we get RVD winning it, which led into the launch of ECW, which, we're not going to talk about ECW long term, but initially it was hot. Like it was something that was dope initially. That match with John Cena at One Night Stand. You don't get that without the Money in the Bank. You don't get all these moments without Money in the Bank. And so I think that that one match had a significant, factor on WWE's future, as well as the two main events: Triple H putting Batista over, crowning him, John Cena getting crowned. It was huge. But although there's a lot of different implications that WWE right now wouldn't be where they were without it.
And on top of that, you just look at the arcs from 21 to 22. Edge won the Money in the Bank ladder match. Before 22, he won the WWE title. He had the best match on the card at 22.
Yes.
Kurt and Shawn had the match of the night. Kurt was the World Heavyweight Champion going into 22. Shawn had that match with the man that was like,
Vince.
It wasn't the best match, but it was dope.
Which led to DX reuniting.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Then, Cena wins the title on that night first time.
And DX reuniting Shawn Michaels main event in WrestleMania the year after that.
Exactly. And then, Cena wins his first world title. The next year, he's facing Triple H in the match that basically kind of solidified him as the guy. The only negative was Batista got hurt, so he couldn't make it into 22. You know what I'm saying? Randy and Taker had their match. Randy was in the world title match. Taker went undefeated again against Mark Henry. I mean, it's like the arcs just lined up right.
Ray and Eddie went against each other at 21.
And Ray won the championship.
Exactly. Eddie didn't make it
because of Eddie.
Yeah. So
crazy.
I'm going 21 too.
We were supposed to get Eddie and Shawn. Like saddest thing ever.
That will always bother me.
Let's not talk about that, guys. Let's not. I will cry on this. Let's not talk.
I don't care how true it is. It'll always bother me that they apparently said they were supposed to fight. They never had a match before. And Eddie and Triple H only had one match too.
Wow. Yeah, I'm going with WrestleMania 21. So like I said, now that y'all explain it even further than what I was thinking, yes, 21. 21.
Kate.
I mean, you guys explaining it does make a lot of sense. After you explained everything, I was going to go 21. As much as my heart really wanted 35, because
we feel you.
The card was actually pretty stacked, and surprising us with Rollins and Lesnar is the first match. The women, Kofi, the tag match was good, but there were so many different implications, like you said, before, during, and after 21. It's got to be 21.
Yeah. The women main eventing was really what got me to go. Honestly, I was more excited to see Becky versus Ronda straight up, but I knew they would be like, oh, okay, we're not going to do that. We're going to find a way to pad it a little bit more, add Charlotte into the mix. Didn't need to, because I was genuinely popping for Becky Ronda 1-on-1, but we knew where they were going to go, and
Charlotte's
more
get
so
involved
because
in everything. That's why.
Of course. But and more so because it's like you mentioned it earlier. It's like when you think about where they came from. I talked to TC about this for several episodes. It's like I'm watching 2002. What they had the women doing is so cringy. It's not even funny no more.
Yep.
Like this
I don't know why.
HLA.
I skip every segment like that now, and
me too.
Not just because I don't want to see. I look at how far the women have come now. It's not just that. I don't want to hear Jerry Lawler in his commentary during these matches either, because it just makes me just like I just get this tickle. Is just really uncomfortable feeling.
Living in the world we live in now is really you were saying that on TV.
Yo, just the other night I watched that Raw in Vegas where Jerry had the match and then Godfather came out with the whole train.
Yeah,
I'm like, yo.
Shout out to the Godfather.
Yeah, big shout out to Godfather, man. I want to get him on the show.
Godfather gave my dad an autograph for me at the dump when my dad was working there. He just had pictures of himself in in a frame, and my dad asked for an autograph for me, and he was he just gave me this whole picture. So I will always love Godfather for that.
I need a whole train soundbite.
Yeah, we do.
So yeah, WrestleMania 21. That's our
the greatest WrestleMania of
all time.
WrestleMania
all time, and we have great justification for it. So big shout out to WrestleMania 21. Off of the movie trailers alone, and in hindsight, Katie brought up the tag match at WrestleMania 35, and it made me think I shouldn't have allowed WrestleMania 35 to get as far as it did.
Which one?
because Sasha and Bailey should not have lost the titles at that event. But it helped heat up Sasha and Bailey afterwards though, so it benefited them in the long run. So getting screwed over benefits you sometimes.
The thing is, it would have worked if they had actually went, and given the time to the Iconics to really build them up. It would have been a great moment if they would have did that. But they won and they disappeared from TV. So that's really what screwed it up.
Yeah.
Shout out to WrestleMania 21, man. Now I'm gonna go and watch all the trailers. What was your favorite trailer at WrestleMania 21? I said Paid in Full. What the fuck? Pulp Fiction. Those are my two favorite movies of all time. So I'm gonna get both mixed up when I say it because they both start with the letter P. But Pulp Fiction.
It's between
yeah.
Can we have a Paid Full trailer?
Now I really wish they did. I really
That'd
wish
be
they
fire.
did now. They could have had Crime Time be Mitch and Ace.
It's between that and Taxi Driver because
Taxi Driver is probably mine.
The Taxi Driver one is dope.
The Pulp Fiction that scene from Pulp Fiction is one of my favorite movie scenes of all time. So Booker T was like the perfect person to recreate that.
And then you got funny comedic timing too.
Yeah, exactly. Then the Taxi Driver one with Big Show, like 5 different takes that kept screwing up.
No, like the one that had A Few Good Men with John Cena and JBL.
Yeah,
that was intense.
Good too.
It was though. That's how
was that the last WrestleMania inside of like an arena?
Nah, 22.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The next year, yeah. You remember the one with Kurt Angle, when Harry met Sally?
Oh my god.
Instead of Linda McMahon, it should have had Mae Young at the end of it.
Yeah.
It might have been my favorite if they had Mae Young instead.
It was less believable with Linda. But no, it's like a lot of these were like perfect for the performers too, because like Kurt, that was right up his alley to do that
with
one.
The wig.
Yeah. Triple H with the Braveheart, like it all Dirty Harry with Undertaker. It's like it matched up perfectly with the right wrestlers. It worked, man.
How bad do you think Undertaker politicked to be Clint Eastwood?
Oh, I don't think he needed to at all. It's like, listen, I'm doing it. Y'all got a problem? No? Okay.
Do something.
Right. Undertaker being Clint Eastwood is so ironic. Hey man, this has been another edition of the YKW Madness series. We got Mania Madness. WrestleMania is in about 3 weeks, so we're gonna be talking about that on here.
Hey, the next one we could do is Mania Moments, because I know people are gonna be upset because some of their favorite matches didn't get into it. But hey, we can do Mania Moments next one.
Oh yeah, this is gonna create a lot of friction, and I'm ready for it.
That's what YK Wrestling does. We create conversation, we piss people off, and we don't care. We
Not
just
like
don't.
David. Not like David. Fuck David.
Fact.
Oh God.
Sorry.
Yes, I have sound bites of my own voice too on here.
Yeah. I'm not gonna get off on
things
because
we're not gonna talk about him. We could talk about him. On our previous episode, which is later today that we recorded.
Yeah. Because there's a tweet that I got to get into, but we'll do that later tonight.
And I got about 3 rants racked up as well.
Oh shit.
Maybe 3, potentially 3. I got 2 for sure, but potentially 3. One of them is not a rant, but I'm just really just speaking my piece. The other one is a rant, and the potential third one, I'm hoping it's not a rant. So WWE, don't piss me off tonight. But if there was a third rant, you will hear it on episode 81, which is just before this one. Young Kings Wrestling Podcast. Let's plug our socials. We'll start with our guest, Katie. Let's plug your socials. Anything you want to mention, you can promote it here.
Yeah, I guess I can promote my podcast since I basically run it. It's mine now. Kyle's listening. It's my podcast now. I own it. At SmackDropPod on Twitter, youtube.com/SmackDropPodcast. I think if you go to the Twitter, we have a link tree for everything. We're on all podcast platforms. Yeah. You don't even have to follow me on Twitter. I don't tweet anything. It's not even worth it at this point. Just follow the show.
Reek.
You can follow me at ReekHavoc24 on Instagram and Twitter. Also, go check out the Havoc Hour. Got the page up on Instagram. I'm on Spotify, Anchor, YouTube for the video. Just had an episode a couple weeks ago. Not even, like last week with my guy TC and Vince. Got to do another one because free agency just passed and a lot of stuff going on to talk about. So yeah, go check that out.
How about them Patriots?
Yeah,
spending money, looking real unusual.
Bill said he ain't playing with y'all this year.
What's up with your squad, Malik?
Ooh. Raiders.
Vegas.
You been paying attention?
I ain't been paying attention to nothing. I've been playing in this celebrity game and everything else so much. I don't watch TV. I don't know what's going on out here in these streets. I need to listen to the Havoc Hour. How about I do that?
You need to listen to our show.
No, because I know what we talk about. I play it just to we get to listen, but I don't listen to it. You know what I mean? Or I listen to my voice or your voice. I know what you sound like. Anyway, follow me at Malik.lv. Yes, there's no more 2Ks. There's no more. Rest in peace to 2K.
Yeah, that 2K, I finally got a hold of it.
Hey, I gotta do what I gotta do for my team.
Instagram want to be some hoes and take down our page, so we had to make another one, and we lost nearly 10,000 of our followers, and they ain't trying to budge and getting it back. But you know what? We gonna keep. Get the page back or die trying.
But guess what I did? I said, "Oh, I got you. Here you go. Boom. There we go."
He wasn't trying to let me have it for personal use, but
because you don't post. You don't post.
I would have.
So Katie, I know you didn't really. This is kind of the thing that's been going on for a while. Whenever we plug the socials at the end, TC for several months. As a matter of fact, pretty much all of 2020, TC was like campaigning hard to get that page with the 2Ks because Malik got about 5,000 followers on it. And whenever he plugged his socials, he would put it as, follow me at Malik with the 2Ks because he was trying to get it. At one point, he was trying to buy it off him. Like, it was just a thing that was going for several months. And now, since, the page is down, that's where we put all our stuff on Instagram. Hashtag free YK Wrestling.
Hashtag free YK Wrestling.
Because I knew it was going to come in handy one day. I didn't know what for, because Katie, I built this off a different brand, a different platform. And once I didn't want to be that person anymore, I was like, all right, cool. I have all these people for no reason. But I knew it would come in handy one day. And yes, it did.
I think that's a perfect way to segue into me plugging my socials. You can find us at YK Wrestling _. Thanks to Malik for the page. Thanks to Malik for the original page too.
Thanks Malik for YK Wrestling. You did.
Yes,
thanks to TC for controlling YK Wrestling though.
Hell yeah.
I want to thank TC for that.
We out here, man.
And Reek for being the I ain't gonna call you Stephen A. I don't know if you like Stephen A. But for being the Reek Havoc of wrestling.
He the Shannon Sharp.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
You said Sharp.
Y'all got glasses. Y'all both kind of buff. Y'all both be smoking black, so it's all good. Y'all very parallel together. But yeah, YK Wrestling, at YK Wrestling everywhere but Instagram. On Instagram as YK Wrestling _. Hit me up on my personal if you want to on Instagram, tc.fontaine. I don't post anything, but I'm about to because I want to ask Malik when we get off of this call about some headshots. I need some headshots, bro.
Got you.
And
pictures.
Man.
Pause for you immature ones.
Yes.
Pause.
Yes, headshot pictures. If you don't know what a thespian is an actor. And actors need headshots
A
So,
thespian
yes.
headshot.
Yes. Yes. Vincent Kennedy McMahon. I'm gonna close out on this because I think Malik forgot, but I sure didn't. Vincent Kennedy McMahon. If WrestleMania 40 does not take place at Allegiant Stadium, we coming for you, nigga.
I tried to end this off on a positive note, man.
Gone.
Yeah, please go. We gone. Let's leave. Leave.